So the last still we come to is Irene. Now Irene is also a gin still. However, she produces gin differently to the way in which Leah does. In that she produces gin the way that Gordon's would produce gin, or the way that Bombay Sapphire would produce gin, as they use what we call continuous distillation. And rather than put the botanicals inside the still, we place the botanicals inside a botanical chamber. And all we simply do is pass the gases up through the botanicals. It leads to a much lighter gin. It's not something we do very often, but it's something we do for a couple of customers. You'll notice at the top, we've got a glass tube or a glass viewing channel. And what this does, as we're distilling, I can see the oils from the botanicals on the glass. And if those oils disappear, it tells me that the botanicals are now worn out and we need to change them. So we'll simply change the botanicals, put fresh botanicals in and go again. She makes gin exactly the same way as the other, in that we can still do cuts, so heads, hearts and tails, which they don't generally do if they're doing continuous distillation. So it will produce a purer gin, but a much lighter gin than the Hooting Algians, not as many oils. Now we also use this still to produce bourbons, but we can't call them bourbons because our friends in America started to complain when we started speaking about Yorkshire bourbon. So we did try to trademark it, that was refused. It was opposed by the Americans. So we now decided we're going to call it something else. And what we're going to call our bourbon is the Corny Owl. But so that people know what we're actually producing, we're going to call it the Corny Owl. I can't believe it's not bourbon. Further to the 3 stills you saw in the front, around the back here, we've got a further 5 stills. The first one here, Florence, will produce 60 bottles. We've then got a further 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, which will produce 28, 28, 40 or 28 bottles. And the reason we have these is because we make a lot of gins for other businesses. So whether it be a restaurant, whether it be a hotel, or whether it be an individual looking for something special for their wedding. And rather than buy a batch of 200 bottles, they can simply buy a much smaller batch to make it affordable. Again, these are quality London dry gins, and we can customise them to your own recipe. We currently produce for the Pipe and Glass, which is a Michelin star restaurant up near Beverley, so South Dalton, and they've got some stunning gins. One of them, my particular favourite, is Vine Tomato and Garden Lovage. So whether it be for a wedding or whether it be for a special occasion, we can produce a bespoke gin. Just go to our website and look at the Hooting Owl bespoke page.